YouTube, what is going on? It's your main man Mose, and welcome back to Mose Knows. Welcome to another episode of What We Learned, Week 3 edition. 3 weeks into the NFL season, man. I love when the NFL season starts, but it seems like it just moves so fast. We're already 3 weeks in. Can you believe that? We're at Tuesday. You know, once we get to Thursday, it's already the start of week 4. We're already almost a quarter of the way through the NFL season, man. But it's an exciting time of the year. Fall is upon us. Football season is in full swing. Let's take a look at what happened in week 3 and what did we learn from this slate of matchups. We're gonna start with our quick hitters. Let's start with Thursday night's matchup: Panthers versus the Texans. Panthers take this matchup 24-9. Panthers handle business as we expected. I don't know if we learned much, but we did learn that this team will be hampered. The injury bug has hit a lot of teams this year, and the Panthers are not exempt. 2 really, really big losses. One to Christian McCaffrey, another to rookie cornerback J.C. Horn. I believe J.C. Horn will miss time. He had surgery for a few broken bones in his foot. Thankfully, it wasn't an Achilles tear or an ACL tear, but you hate to see any player go down. CMC, I think, was a hamstring strain, so he's going to be out a couple of weeks. So that may change the outlook for this team slightly, being down 2 key players like that. But a good start to the season can be a great band-aid. You kind of put yourself above, in front of and not behind the 8 ball. Moving over to the Texans versus the Colts. Texas, they also handle business at home. I expected this team to just be a little bit more dominant than they have been the first few weeks of the season. Maybe it's just, the way the season is playing out. They're starting a little bit slow. But they are leaning on Derrick Henry, who quickly put whatever happened in week 1 behind him, and he's on a mission to run everybody over. They're riding with him. They're leaning on Derrick Henry, and he's carrying them. He's carried them so far to 2 straight victories. Moving over to the Falcons and Giants. Look, as Uncle Prime said, ain't nobody care. This is 2 bad teams playing football, and on Sunday, if you watched any part of that game, it was 2 bad teams playing 2 bad brands of football. One of them had to win the game, neither the outcome was inspiring. So I expect to see these teams in that top 5 of the draft order come the 2022 NFL draft. Moving over to the Bengals versus the Steelers. Bengals take this 24-10. Listen, I should have followed my first mind. My Thursday picks episode came out and said I want to take the Bengals, but I feel like that Steelers defense is too strong. Well, it wasn't strong enough, especially without TJ Watt. And like I said, I like this Bengals team. Are they a contender right now? No, but I think they're a really, really good team. They're going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. This offense with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I'm trying to tell you, don't sleep on this Bengals team. Again, they're not a contender yet, but they're able to compete. Good young coach who knows how to scheme it up. Again, this offense with Burrow and Chase is real. Moving over to the Browns, who handily beat the Bears 26-6. Listen, I told y'all the Browns was excited to see Justin Fields starting his first NFL game. And I mean, what happens when a predator sees prey? They go hunting. And that's exactly what this defense did. This defense went hunting after Justin Fields. They were able to affect him. They were able to sack him multiple times and throw him off rhythm. Only allowed this team to score 6 points. Great to see OBJ back in the lineup. Baker found him a couple times. It's always good when 13 is on the field. Ravens 19, Lions 17. Come on, Baltimore. I almost had a heart attack. Y'all almost messed up my picks this week. Come on. And I mean, you some people could say that this was a trap game, after the emotionally charged win against the Kansas City Chiefs. You go on the road to Detroit. You start out a little bit flat, was what they did. Marquise Brown had an uncharacteristic game. He had a few drops. I had to apologize for my fantasy prediction. I thought he was going to get the targets. He got open a few times. Would have had a great statistical game as far as fantasy if he would have made those catches. But some really, really big drops for Marquise Brown. Again, uncharacteristic. But thank you, Justin Tucker, for being the best kicker in the league and hitting an NFL record 66-yard field goal to get the win for the Ravens. But I got to give kudos to this Lions team. I think we learned it in week 1. I think we learned it in week 2 a little bit. And I think we definitely learned it in week 3. I was wrong about Dan Campbell, man. Dan Campbell is coming in and he is establishing his culture within this Detroit Lions organization. They are going to fight. They're going to scratch. They're going to claw. And they are not out of it until the clock hits zeros. They don't give up. So they may not be good right now, but give Dan Campbell and his staff a couple years to get the pieces that they need necessary for this team to be successful. And we might see some good things from this Detroit Lions organization. I'm pulling for him. My Uncle Cease is a Detroit Lions fan. I want to see him be happy and excited about the product the Lions are putting on the field. Saints versus the Pats, 28-13 in favor of the Saints. Of course, the Saints rebound and play better this week and mess up my picks. Of course. I honestly thought Bill Belichick would have had a better game plan facing Jameis Winston and his inconsistent play, but he did not. I think the Saints came in there with a better game plan. Sean Payton came in with a better game plan. And defensively, they were able to shut down Mac Jones in this offense. So through the first 3 weeks, though, I think this is what we're going to see throughout the entirety of the season from this New Orleans Saints team. I think we're going to see a lot of up and downs. I think we're going to see games that like we see against Green Bay, and then I think you're going to see them have games like they had against the Panthers. I think there's going to be there's always ebbs and flows to every season, but the good teams find a way to be consistent for longer stretches. But I think with this Saints team, I think there's going to be a lot of ups and downs during this season, but hopefully not. Cardinals versus the Jaguars. I thought this could be a trap game for the Cardinals. And early on, they played like this was a trap game. Kicking a 68-yard field goal, sir, you are not Justin Tucker. But trying to kick a 68-yard field goal, I don't even know what Cliff Kingsbury was doing. But you should have known that they got Jamal Agnew. He's known for returning kicks and punts and all kind of stuff like that. And you made him let him set a record on the longest missed field goal kick return, 109 yards for a touchdown. That swung the game. That swung momentum. And I thought the Jaguars had an opportunity to really take control of this game at home. Rookie mistakes from Trevor Lawrence allowed the Cardinals to come out on top. So got to see Lawrence play better. Got to see Urban Meyer put him in better decisions, put him in better situations, and he make better decisions in order to play better. But this Arizona Cardinals team is 3-0, and I think they put up 30 points. 30 plus points every week so far. So this offense is legit behind Kyler Murray. We know that. Buffalo Bills 43, Washington football team 21. That's the Josh Allen that I was waiting for. That's the Josh Allen that I was looking for. That MVP candidate Josh Allen. Throwing the ball all over the yard Josh Allen. Getting dubs Josh Allen. Commanding the offense Josh Allen. I was waiting for that. I was waiting. First 2 games was kind of a little slow to the draw. This is the game where we saw the entirety of what Josh Allen can do at the quarterback position. Let's hope he keeps this up. He's on my fantasy team, so I need him to keep it up. And I am very disappointed in this Washington football team defense. I really am. Hopefully, it's just a slow start. They're just having a slow start to the season based on the schedule and how everything shakes out. But I really thought this defense would have been a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more high-powered, a little bit more ferocious as far as getting stops and getting after the quarterback. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed so far in this Washington football team defense. So I'm gonna need to see them turn that around soon. Broncos 26, Jets 0. Denver blanked the Jets. That's it. That's the take. Vikings over the Seahawks 30-17. Great game plan by Mike Zimmer and the Minnesota Vikings. This Seattle Seahawks, I've been saying it over and over. I'll continue to say it. This is not the same team, particularly on defense. Running the ball and controlling the clock against them is their kryptonite. as long as you don't allow Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams to affect the game, as long as you don't are not one-dimensional, and as long as you're able to attack all areas of the field, and again, like I said, run the ball and control the clock, that does not bode well against this Seattle Seahawks defense. The Vikings defense was able to step up and only hold Russell Wilson in this offense to 17 points. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Vikings. I think this is a great win for them so that they didn't start 0-3. Again, a great team on paper, a little bit inconsistent. So let's hope they find a way, like I said, to string some wins together. It's a lot of good football being played so far, some not so good football. And I think the Vikings could be a fun team to watch, and a team that's competitive in every game. They just got to be able to put it together on a more consistent basis. That's going to wrap it up for the quick hitters. Let's dive into the top 5 for this week 3. First in the top 5, Dallas versus Philly. Now, this is only in the top 5 for reasons that you may or may not know. If you follow me on Facebook, you know, it's some people out there running a mouse, because it seems like that's all they're able to do is talk. But then when you have something to say back, then they want to backtrack, and then they want to belittle, and then they want to act like it's just trash talk. But if it's just trash talk and we trash talking, why you can't take it? You could dish it, but you couldn't take it. Now you want to do all other sly kind of stuff. I mean, we know what cowards look like, but it is what it is. Thank you to the Dallas Cowboys for dog walking the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm on record as saying it. If the Eagles didn't beat Atlanta, they start 0-6, 0-7. I said it. So thankfully they got that win against Atlanta. But you couldn't beat my Niners. Dog walked by the Cowboys. And now you playing a Chiefs team that's pissed. That lost 2 games in a row. Chiefs don't lose 2 in a row. So if you think they're going to lose 3 in a row and the third loss be at the hands of Philadelphia, Andy Reid's old team, you out your ever-loving mind. Then after that, they got the Panthers, who balling right now. Defense is number 1 in the league. Then after that, you got Tampa Bay. Y'all not beating Tom. Then after that, I think they got the Raiders. Gruden got their team. Like, listen, Eagles might be in a bad spot in a few weeks. And then I just want to see if the talking continues. But, you know, gotta love the way they fight, right? Rams versus the Buccaneers. Wow. What a game. What a game. What a game. This could be a preview of the NFC West Championship. I wouldn't appreciate, not the NFC West, the preview of the NFC Championship. I wouldn't appreciate it because that means the Rams got far, and more than likely they probably beat us, or the Buccaneers beat us, but I don't want to see the Rams there. But this could be an early preview of the NFC Championship game. And it didn't disappoint. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. I don't think we learned much about this Rams team. I think it's just a continuation of last week. I mean, this team is firing on all cylinders. Head coach Sean McVay, bro, he's excited. He's excited after the deep touchdown. I think it was the deep touchdown to Deshaun Jackson. Did you see him sprinting down the field to high five, you know, his player? He's excited. He is like a kid at Christmas. I mean, he's liberated. He's free. He's able to call the game without limitations on his quarterback. And this is not to slight Jared Goff, but I'm sure he felt like he was limited in what he could do based off of Jared Goff's capabilities. Now he's not limited. With Matt Stafford's arm, with his football IQ, with his tenacity and just the way he plays the position, Sean McVay isn't hindered anymore. He isn't limited with what he can call. And when an offensive play caller like a Sean McVay is not limited in what he can do, man, It opens up a world of possibilities for your offense. And without having your starting running back and without having a much resemblance of a running game, you're still able to put up 34 points just because you can open it up. I don't think there's anything for the Buccaneers to be worried about. You still have a great team. You still have Tom Brady. And I guarantee you, when Tom sees you for a second time, that first matchup ain't going to be the same as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. That second time they went up against Tom and the Bucs, it was a different story. So if these teams do match up again, I think we're going to have another set of fireworks that's going off. Raiders versus the Dolphins. Whew. You know what? I'll save that later. Let's go to Green Bay, San Francisco. 37 seconds and no timeouts, and you would think that would be good enough. Not when Aaron Rodgers is on the field. And not when Aaron Rodgers is on the field and your defense knows that he's looking for Devontae Adams, and your defense still plays soft coverage and allows him to find a sweet spot in that soft coverage and complete 2 long passes to get you in field goal range. As a 49er fan, I've heard it all the past couple days. Obviously, we are limited by Jimmy G, and that's what I mentioned about the Rams and Sean McVay and how he's not limited by the quarterback play anymore. Well, I believe Kyle Shanahan is limited by the quarterback play of Jimmy Garoppolo. But the conundrum about Jimmy Garoppolo is he does some bad things. He does some boneheaded things that you're like, what are you doing? But then he does some really good things, and he makes some really good throws. And even with 2 penalties, he leads you on a game-winning drive to get in the end zone and take the lead. So while I do think this team needed to start this game faster and to not get into a 17-0 hole early, and that could have been aided by better quarterback play, at the end of the game, we were up 1. You don't need to win by 40 in this league. It's great when you do. But as long as you have 1 more point than the other team, that's a W in the win column. So I split the blame. I think we should have started faster. I didn't like some of Kyle's play calling. And at the end of the game, DeMeco Ryans in this defense, when you know that Aaron Rodgers is only looking for one guy, you don't let that guy beat you. Michelle Tafoya asked Aaron Rodgers at the end of that game, what were your thoughts going into that final drive? The first thing that he said out of his mouth was, throw it to Tay. Throw it to Tay. 4 words. That was the only thing on his mind. Throw it to Tay. So why are you playing soft coverage? Why do you not have Emmanuel Mosley manned up across from Devontae Adams and have a safety over top? He should have been bracketed. He should have been double covered. Anywhere 17 would have went, you should have seen the jersey number 4 for Emmanuel Mosley, and you should have either saw 1 or 3. It should have been Tart or Ward. It should have been 1 or 4, or 1 and 1 and 4, or 3 and 4, wherever you seen 17. You should have saw 2 red jerseys wherever 17 was on that field. And you force Aaron Rodgers to throw to somebody else and let somebody else beat you. You don't play soft coverage and allow Devontae Adams twice in that final drive to make wide open catches and put that team in position for a game-winning 51-yard field goal. You don't do it. You don't do it. So I think that's the frustrating part as a 49er fan. Speaking as a 49er fan, as a faithful, we have all the pieces to do it. Even the Philly game, we started slow. Now Philly is buns, so we were able to, get a dub in that game. But my key to this Green Bay game was we cannot start slow the way we did in Philly. Green Bay is not Philly. We cannot start slow like that. And now we have 2 back-to-back division games against the Seahawks and the Cardinals. We can't start slow in those games either. Because if we start slowing those games and we lose both of those games, we lose three in a row, and we fall to 2-3 going into our bye week. And for 2 weeks, all you're going to hear is get rid of Jimmy, start Trey Lance. And I'm sure that's not what Kyle wants right now. But will he feel pressure from the fan base to start Trey Lance if we lose the next 2, drop 3 in a row, and go into our bye week 2-3? I think so. I think so. So come on, everybody, step it up. Step it up. Defense, come on. Pass rush got to get home. I know we have issues in the secondary, but the guys who have filled in admirably. Love Diamador Lenore. Speedy recovery to Josh Norman. Y'all thought he was washed. Josh Norman was playing well against the Eagles and against Green Bay. Josh Norman is doing his thing. So speedy recovery to him. We got to get some other guys back. Manny Mosley came back and he balled out. Yeah, he had a penalty, but other than that, he played a really, really good game. He played solid. So guys are filling in admirably. We have the pieces to do it. We just need, again, word of the day is consistency. We have to be consistent. Now let's go to the Raiders and the Dolphins. What an OT thriller. This is my surprise of the week. I didn't think the Dolphins were going to come out with much fight and play well in this game because they didn't have Tua. But I'm wondering if not having Tua is why they played well. Jacoby Brissett came out there and he balled. Now, while he didn't look like a top tier quarterback, he played well enough to have this Dolphins team battle all the way to the end, to tie it up at 28 all and to go on I think it was, didn't both teams get a field goal in overtime? I can't remember. I don't think it was 25-25. I would have to double check. Let me see. It wasn't 25-25, wasn't it? Because I think it was. It was 25-25 at the end of regulation. So the Raiders got a field goal, then the Dolphins got a field goal, then the Raiders got another one. So, I mean, but still, he had them in contention throughout. They started off strong. At the end of the first quarter, it was 14-2 Miami. Defense for the Raiders stepped up in the second and third quarter, held them to no points. And then Jacoby Brissett, willing the team back, scored 11 to tie it up, take it into OT. Had a good drive in OT, got them down the field to get a field goal to tie it back up. And then in sudden death, the Raiders were able to drive down. So this was a really, really good game. Nice back and forth game. Good to see, these two AFC opponents go back and forth like that. John Gruden has this Raiders team playing. And listen, I'm excited because, when the Raiders are playing well, my wife is happy. You know what I mean? She's more excited to watch football when the Raiders are doing good. Right now we in the house, we 5-1, and I'm surprised that her team got a better record than mine. We should both be 3-0, and we should be undefeated in this house. But I'll relinquish the crown to the missus. I will relinquish the crown to the person who makes this household run, who is the glue of this family. Shout out to Mrs. Mose Knows. Her Raiders are 3-0. Now they got a tough test this week though. Week 4, they got Jay Hirbo. But this Raiders team looks really good. Chucky got them boys playing. It's always good to see John Gruden do what he does best. He's a great coach. He's got the team bought in, and they're playing well. Speaking of Justin Herbert, game of the week. Jay Hirbo with his first big statement win of his young career, going into Arrowhead against Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs, and coming out with the W. What a performance. This bodes well for the confidence of the young QB. This bodes well for the confidence of their young head coach, Brandon Staley. The Chargers are looking really, really good right now. Really good right now. I'm excited to see how they continue to build upon this good start so far, especially getting that W against the Chiefs. Uncharacteristic start for the Chiefs to lose 2 in a row. Yikes. Wasn't expecting that. I mean, it was possible. Going up against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, Justin Herbert and the Chargers. It was possible. But it's uncharacteristic for them to drop 2 in a row. Will they do that at any point the rest of the season? I don't believe so. I don't believe you see this team lose 2 in a row again. They might, lose a few more games, but it won't be another 2 in a row scenario. And they definitely not going to lose 3 in a row next week when they play the Eagles. Ooh, the Eagles in for a rough one. You talk about a team that's going to be fired up, a team that's hot, a team that's trying to get back in the win column. Wings get clipped next week. Oh man, we know this isn't forever. And I pose the question, should be worried. Most people have the Kansas City Chiefs as a Super Bowl favorite, making it back to the Super Bowl for the 3rd year in a row. Should we be worried this early about, a Super Bowl favorite? I think it's way too early. We're 3 games in. We still have 14 games left. If they rattle off 14 straight dubs, they'd be 15-2, and nobody would even talk about, the 2 straight losses until it came playoff time and they had to face either the Ravens or the Chargers. So it's much too early to be worried. And when you have Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyrann Mathieu, Tyreek Hill, Chris Jones. I mean, I could rattle off the rest of the names on this team. But when you have, the players, the pedigree that they have in the building, really not much to be worried about. That is going to wrap it up for this week's edition of What We Learned. Thank you so much for tapping in with Mose Knows. I greatly appreciate you all. Let me know your thoughts on week 3. Let me know what your thoughts are going into week 4. What you got on deck, what you're looking for, what are you excited about, what are you not excited about? Is there a particular matchup that you're looking out for? Let's get interactive. Let's talk about it. Let's continue to connect with one another. You can leave a comment below this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to get at me on any one of my social media accounts, I'll leave the Linktree link in the description. Whichever is your preferred means to get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to commune with each and every one of you, except some of you Eagles fans, just to talk ball. We're in the thick of it. We're almost a quarter away through the season, and things are starting to shape up. But it's still a little early to make definitive statements yet. So we have a lot of great football to play. And I love interacting with you all, talking about it. If you do me a favor, leave a thumbs up, like this video for me. Let me know that you liked it. If you enjoyed it, it helps me, helps you. I get to curate content to what you like and what I want to do. It's a win-win for everybody. If you are new to Mose Knows, thank you for stopping by. I love you already. You're part of the Mose Knows fam. There's nothing you can do about it, but you can become officially a know-it-all by hitting that subscribe button, then taking another 2 seconds and hitting that bell icon so that you get notified every time new content drops right here at Mose Knows. Love and appreciate y'all. Let me get out of here so I can get ready for week 4 of the NFL season. Catch y'all on the next episode. Y'all be easy.